Okay, well, we're post-match here at Meadowbank. The Advertiser Trophy returns to Wanderers, but it was an eventful game to say the least, and 9-goal thriller here this evening. Wanderers winning 5-4. Mark, get your take and pick the bones out of that one.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously 5-1 up, very comfortable, and young Callum in goals. Had a nightmare for a couple of goals. I thought, if I'm honest with you, he's got to learn, when he makes the first mistake, he still wants the ball. Great to see the confidence, but, obviously there's senior players on the pitch. The first rule is sort of when you make a mistake in football really is to make sure the next thing you do takes the pressure off yourself, and he kept sort of inviting it a little bit really. He'll learn from that. He's a good lad. But obviously that kind of episode really made it a real event for the 850 odd fans that came. I want to say thanks to all of their Leatherhead fans supporting this fixture. It's important to both clubs, and 1 year now it might be Leatherhead in League 2 and Dorking Wanderers back in the Sussex County League, and it's about keeping this fixture going no matter where the teams are. So thanks to Hayden and his team coming down, and all the boys at Leatherhead, all the supporters. Thanks to our lot. Good to see more of them here tonight, hearing the singing for the first time this season, which was great. I think the story of the game was, to be honest with you, 2 early goals, and we just got too relaxed. We play lower opposition teams, no disrespect, pre-season. A, because we can't attract league sides on this surface, they won't play on it. B, because it's just, I think 70% of our team are over 28 years old. So we've got an ageing team. Do we really need to be sprinting after, Chelsea under 23s? Not really. So playing lower opposition gives you a chance. We've always done it. Get your units right, get your team set up, dominate play, pattern, etc. But I just thought the last 2 games, the first 2 games we played, we was loose today. So the press was loose. Luke and Jebby weren't close enough in midfield. The defenders weren't squeezing up behind that. The gaps were big. We allowed Leatherhead too much ball first half. And I think they played the scoreline, if I'm honest. 2-0 up after 6 minutes. 3-0 whenever that was, not far after.
Yeah, inside the first quarter of an hour, 3-0
right.
Up. Yeah.
And I think they played the scoreline. They played it like an on-the-ball game. And, and I said to them afterwards, you've got to make your mind up before you go out there. You've got to play in a way that says if you were playing York City or whoever it might be, would you get punished? What would happen? Otherwise, these games really don't work. So I think I put the first 2 games down as a catastrophic failure. 6 goals conceded, way too wide open. I think, if I'm honest with you, in the last third, I think we're going to have goals in us this year. I think we've got too many goals in the side this year. If we can do what we've done back end of last season and get it really tightened up, Briggs, Bauman, Seeger, Pryor, Ottaway, McShane, there's a lot of goals in our side. So I think just closing off the pitch and getting those habits right, we kept so many clean sheets. I don't think it's a skill thing at the moment. I think it's a will thing. They're a little bit coasting a little bit maybe. So yeah, that's what we've got to work on, and that's what we'll do. But you have to remember one thing as well, and it's not an excuse, it's really not, but there's probably in that squad 2,500 Football League appearances, and pre-season means pre-season a little bit, and I think you can see that. So we are where we are, mate. It's to a degree, having stuff to work on is not a bad thing. Obviously, we've had to rotate a lot of players, literally loads of players. Harry felt a little nick in his calf, nothing too bad. Jebby, his quad, we had to play 90 Saturday. So the boys that are missing are meaning that the boys that are involved are doing more minutes than they would like. So we've got to be careful there. But I think if we get through Saturday, we can slow down a bit and take stock at where we are, and that's where we are really. But the fans, delighted they came out and delighted we won the trophy. It's a good one to win in terms of the bragging rights.
Yeah, absolutely. And whilst we acknowledge work to do in tightening up and getting back to the world we were in at the back end of last season. Defensively, clinical in front of goal, certainly in the first half. A really nice finish from Jack Jebb to get the ball rolling. And then Ryan Seeger with a couple of goals tonight. And I know you highlighted him on Saturday. Great that he's now 3-2 and up and running for ahead of the new campaign.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ryan Seeger, like, bottom line is he he's not your trendy striker, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? But he's bloody efficient, and last year, when I think he's got best part of 15 league goals in a relegation threatened team that was missing a lot of players all season. He carried us for spells, popped up with goals, and I thought pre-season, I said to the management team, I thought he looked one of the sharpest back. He just always scores goals, mate. He'll score goals in the phone box. That's just what he does. So there are positives. There's people ticking over: Pryor, Frankham, Briggsy, Seb, George, Frankham. You know, Barry Fuller's looked very good. There's a lot of positives. Just light on numbers, that those kind of real first 16 players. So we just need to get them back, but they're not far off. Not far off.
Another positive was Jack Saunders coming in for his first appearance and signing the first team squad, getting a squad number in the summer. He was unlucky not to get a goal at the end as well, Jack. And Matt Hay also joined him off the bench second half as well. So good at the academy lads again. Were able to feature.
I thought, I mean, Jack's, you know, again, another bad decision, just passes to Bobby and we win the game 6-4.
Yeah, Bob, he'd have Bob up with him, didn't he, at the end there? So
but I point it out at the end to him because this is where they've got to learn their trade, and they've got to think, you know, he has a shot of it's 5-1, he squares it to his mate, if there's a minute to go and you could lose the game. But I thought Jack done really well, Saunders. I thought Matt Hay was the standout for me, and I thought he'd done really well. Really good lad, you know, wants to listen, wants to learn. I'm very impressed with Matt Hay. I could really see that if he spent long enough in the right environment, I think he'd really, really kick on. So it's an interesting one for us, Matt Hay, to be fair. But yeah, we're trying to blood youngsters, and I mean, at the end there was, you know, blimey, all sorts out there, 5 or 6.
Yeah, obviously Javon came on, of course, late on as well, and I know Spike Stable, but B-team regular last season involved as well. So no, really positive in that sense.
Yeah.
And just finally, Mark, we're on the road next, and down to the southwest part of the world for Malzo AFC on Saturday. Just give us a bit of a preview ahead of that one in terms of squad selection, what we're thinking, and what's your approach?
Well, yeah,
for
I
that
mean,
one?
the approach is obviously, you know, we need to improve on last 2 games. Beautiful pitch, brilliant club, run by great people. Reminds me obviously of us, really, looking at the sort of love and you know, passion that goes into what they're doing down there. It's our annual sort of like stay over, so we'll be going out in Newquay and, you know, getting to see the sights if you like. So, but we need to approach these matches in the right manner. Do you know what I mean? So we've got to be careful. I think we just get through Saturday, we'll start to get a few of these boys back, which is what we need. But you are going to be looking at, you know, the best part of only, you know, a couple of friendlies to try and get some of them boys fit. So maybe might come up a bit short when it comes to Chesterfield away, which is definitely not the ideal start.
Well, we continue pre-season preparations on Saturday on the road. We'll catch up again then, Mark. Thanks for your time.
If anyone's going to Mousehole, and I'm getting good at saying it now, then let us know. Let us know you're going, because it'd be good to, you know, catch up. Right,
brilliant,
mate?
yeah, let us know on the socials. Brilliant.
Yeah. Cheers, Dan.
Mark.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers.